This Week in Cincinnati is brought to you by Treo Realtors. Treo has been busy in August selling houses for over asking price and after less than just 4 days on market. Inventory is still pretty low while demand remains high throughout Cincinnati. If you're looking to cash in and sell your home, Treo has an extensive team of experienced agents who will guarantee you the best deal possible. Make sure to follow Treo Realtors on Facebook to see what we're up to and give us a call at 513-800-0950. That's 513-800-0950 to get in touch with an agent today. And now, on with the show.
For the week of August 24th, 2020, welcome to the 57th episode of This Week in Cincinnati, the podcast dedicated to bringing you the news of the Queen City without the filter. This week we're talking about the end of Thom Brennamen, saving the USPS, Kangaroos, and much, much more.
Welcome to glorious Cincinnati. It is sensational for Cincinnati. It's skyline time. And this one belongs to the Reds.
Cincinnati, Ohio.
WKRP in Cincinnati.
So how was your past 2 weeks?
Good. I have no idea what I did. No, I had our annual Yacht Rock party on Saturday. I attended. I shouldn't say I had. I didn't host it. But that was a good time. I actually remembered to dress up, so that was fun. And I brought my kids into the office, put them to work a little bit. That was a good time. Just folding newsletters, you know. And I went to the deep sale at Idlewild Boutique down in OTR. I had an appointment. The first appointment, so all the sale wasn't shopped through already. Got some nice stuff for really, really cheap, and that was really cool. Walked around downtown a little bit, walked across the bridge to the Covington, and did some vitamin D and some fresh air. It was nice.
My wife went to the Gap Outlet Athleta
in
clearance
like Hebron
place in Hebron.
Mm-hmm. I've never been there.
Yeah, and she said that like there are people that get there super early and pick through everything and then sell them online.
Oh, I have no doubt.
So when she got there, she still bought a bunch of stuff, but spent like $150. She said there was tops that were like $5 from Athleta.
Yeah.
So it's a great place. I don't know where you went, but you know.
Yeah. Also
could you get a
nice
top
place.
for $5?
I did not, but I got a pair of jeans. I want to say, let's see, 1, 2, 3. They were a good like 70% off.
That's good.
I was really excited. And I wanted them at the beginning of the season, but I will not buy jeans from online. And it was COVID online. Or, you know, so I couldn't go into the store. You mean
because they don't fit well or because of the COVID that comes from the factory?
I like to try things on.
Sure.
I'm an in-store kind of person. And they were, you know, closed to humans. So
well, I have
out.
gone to Nordstrom Rack and all the fitting rooms are closed.
Yes.
So you'd think people would just buy them and return them, but they just try them on like in like in between the aisles.
Yeah, my mom does that. It's really embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't handle it. Maybe like a cardigan.
Sure.
I could see that. But yeah, I don't know. But that was fun. There's a Wayfair outlet over in, I guess it's more like Florence than Hebron, and it's kind of the same deal. You have to just get there early in the morning because it's just their online returns. It's just what they have that's come, you know, so you have to get there early to get anything good. But
yeah,
it's worth the trip.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. So what's going on this week?
Well, let's see. What's going on this week with me? Or are we talking about the upcoming week? Are we going to talk? Are you even going to ask me how my 2 weeks has been?
Oh, you just told me about Jackie.
You're like, let's get down to it, Brett. Screw you.
Yeah.
Anyways.
You talked. Anything else happen besides Jackie going shopping?
Nothing.
No?
No, what has happened? I'll tell you. So you know how I coach kids sports?
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
Right now, we're in a little bit of a thing.
Okay.
Where this is like third grade soccer. Okay, third, fourth grade soccer.
Yeah.
And I agreed to head coach. Okay, but we signed up late.
Yep.
And there was a buddy of mine who's like, hey, my kid doesn't want to play, but he'll play if you're his coach. I'm like, okay, well, if you're my assistant coach, then our kids will be together.
Right.
Let me go ahead and register.
Yes.
So we called because we missed the registration emails. And they're like, yeah, we have one team. We'll put you on as head coach and assistant coach. Then we just got the email saying, okay, we can play. And the head coach is not me. So my kid's on someone else's team. And this other kid is on someone else's team. So they
So
they
is that
took
kid not even on your
Right.
kid's team?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, geez.
So not only I'm not coaching,
Right.
but the kid that was only going to play if I was his coach is also not on my team.
Yeah.
So
Oh, geez.
then so he's like, well, I'm going to email them and see what happened.
Yeah.
And they're like, we don't have any record of this ever even happening, that you guys are even coaching. And I'm like, well, we called and this is how we did it.
Yeah.
So we got the email from the coach and he's like, this is my name and we've been coaching for years and we know some of the other kids on Clayton's team and they look like they're going to be a pretty good team.
Yeah.
And I don't have to coach. And the main reason I coach isn't because I like kids. Okay. That's not why.
Okay.
It's because like sometimes you get stuck with a parent that has no clue what they're doing.
Fair. Yes.
And then you have to watch an entire season of your kid just going backwards.
Yeah.
you
Sandra
know,
would get really frustrated
in
by that.
progress. And I'm like, screw it. I'll just take care of it and be the one who can teach these kids how to kick a ball the right way, how to line up, play their positions the right way. Well, like that fear is mitigated.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, well, I guess I can move to a team, head coach it. And I feel like I'm getting the bad news bears, you know? Like we have 7
Right.
stragglers.
Right, like, why do these kids not have a good team yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you know, he's on So that's one thing parents do, right? The head coach and the assistant coach. If their kids are good, it's the only way you can kind of keep kids together.
Yeah.
So I'm like, these guys have been coaching for a while. Their kids are probably good. And there's a couple other kids. Probably be an easy, safe
Roll with
season.
it. Yeah.
But now I feel like a jerk. And I'm like, I just need to. So I told him, I'm like, I'll go ahead and just coach a team for this other kid. So I'm not.
Aww.
Yeah. I'm like, it's probably that's what I should have done.
I guess.
So that's what I'm dealing with right now,
Fun.
amongst other things.
Yeah.
But let's talk more Cincinnati stuff.
Okay, let's do it. What's going on in business
Well,
this week?
in business, we have one story for you. Cincinnati and Hamilton County have signed an agreement that will allow a restart of construction of the new music venue on the banks. The city is now a co-signatory on the contract, meaning that they will have a say over change orders and contract amendments. The city originally stopped construction after the county filed an incorrect building permit application asserting that it owned the site, when in fact they did not. The city also will get ownership rights to the new park extension being made right next to the venue. So, yeah, they've been going back and forth and arguing over this site. And something must have happened that caused the city to pull their permit, because I think the permit was approved, and maybe they, on a technicality, they pulled it.
Yeah.
But I think it had to do, and I don't know. I mean, we'll have Taulbee clean this up because I have no clue. You might know why they're actually fighting. I couldn't find why they were fighting, but it seemed like plans over what's going to happen with parking, and there were some lot trades, and there's some other things going on. You know, it's like a little chess match between the city and the.
That's a nicer way to put it than what I was going to say.
Oh, an S show.
I was going to say it sounds like a pissing contest.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is, but I think they're trying to work things out, and they're now recognizing the fact that okay, you don't technically own it, even though you have rights to do whatever you want.
Right.
And then they're trying to piece back together. So
right.
You explain to me why this is so problematic, since you told me before this that you went real deep on all of our topics.
That wasn't my angle, though.
Oh,
yeah.
What's your angle?
Well, no, I can
there's no
attest
live
to the
music?
fact that it is underway, the construction. I was down in Smale on Friday and actually posted on my Instagram stories about how it's either a giant, huge mistake that they're doing construction on a music venue in a stadium in Cincinnati right now, or it's just incredibly optimistic. I choose optimistic. I choose optimistic.
That's good.
Yeah, because we're going to have concerts and soccer games with fans in them.
Yeah.
Someday.
It's true.
Yeah. And my family friend Landon his construction company is working on the concrete down there on the music venue. So
wow, that's pretty exciting for Landon.
It's working. They're working on it. What's that?
Have them on the next episode.
Yeah. that would be exciting. So, Landon,
Right.
tell us. Are we looking at a square building? a lot of a lot of angles.
Yeah, it is a lot of angles.
A lot
I
of
feel
angles in this.
Yeah, but that's
Well, how exciting!
very, very. In politics, we have one story for you this week.
Billions and billions.
Mail has been piling up in Cincinnati in the post office after 8 mail processing machines were pulled from service this summer, accounting for 19% of the processing center's capacity. That's 243,000 pieces of mail per hour. The downtown processing center serves 2.2 million people and has been struggling thanks to COVID, the upcoming election, and the slow dismantling of machines by new Postmaster General Louis DeJoy. Regular mail is taking an extra 2 to 3 days to deliver, while some packages are weeks behind. The post office is now worried that mail-in ballots for November's presidential election may not make it back in time to be counted. So it's to be safe, it's suggested you vote in person on November 3rd or through early voting. As John Kasich was talking about on Bill Maher on Friday, Ohio has more early voting days than almost any other state. So that's actually what I'm going to be doing. And I don't think there's voter fraud in the mail, but I did hear in a lot of the primaries, they were being really strict about signature match. And so if your signature didn't match to the way they thought it should, they were tossing your vote. And I want my vote to count. So I'm going to early vote. However, the Ohio Republican Party is asking you to join President Trump and vote by absentee ballot. I will be an absentee voter. We have lots of absentee voters. It works. So we are in favor of absentee. That is a quote from President Trump. That arrived in my mailbox.
Are you registered Republican?
I am not. This has the name of the former owner of the house or current resident. I am not a registered Republican. I am actually a registered independent.
Oh.
Yeah.
So before we get into the dismantling and the issues with mail piling up in the city, let me tell you a little story about what happened to me this week.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So a guy is selling a condo, in town. Mm-hmm. And I had to go take a look at it. So I'm like, okay, sure, mail me the key. Right? Mm-hmm. He's like, yeah, not a problem. I'll send it to you. Yeah. Came 2 days. The timing wasn't the issue. It came in a relatively quick amount of time. I think it was maybe 2 days from when he mailed it.
Okay.
The problem was, I open up the letter, and there is a keychain, there is the tag for the address to the property, and there are no keys. And the envelope has been taped back together and closed up and processed. So they didn't bother taking out the entire key set. They just took the keys off the key ring and sent the key ring.
Oh, no.
Which is even more evidence for, I don't know, issues. Unless there's like a wait. I don't know. But so that, I was a little like, what do you do in this case?
Yeah, because it's got the address. If it hadn't had the address on it, then what? Like, it's probably not going to do any good.
It's a random thing. So we sent out these little key-shaped zip drives to a bunch of clients with some stuff on them. And I remember getting calls back that, hey, thanks, we got the little pouch, but there was nothing in it. Did you mean to send just a little empty pouch? And people were stealing those out of the letters. And this was like years ago that we did this. So I feel like there's no trust, at least wherever we're dropping them off. Either there's someone stealing stuff at the Blue Ash Postal Service or somewhere within the route.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is 3 years apart and people are stealing. They're opening up carefully. Like they're probably hoarding all this stuff, taking it home, opening stuff up, and then bringing it back and mailing it or dropping it back into like a postal box or something?
We had the mailboxes in our parking lot on the corner. They were removed and moved around the corner, and they did different style mailboxes. People were somehow getting into the mailboxes. People would drop their bills off and stuff to pay their bills. They were opening the envelopes, taking the checks out, and somehow using some kind of method to remove the payee and making it to cash. So people would be like sending in their car payment of, $300, and someone would take it, make it to cash the check, and get their $300.
So it sounds like you are for the dismantling of the Postal Service.
I'm not. I am not. However, I can say I sell some things on Mercari, and something was getting shipped to Indiana last week. I put it in my mailbox on Tuesday. It didn't get scanned in till like 11 p.m. on Thursday night. She didn't get it till the next Tuesday. It should take a day It was like an envelope. It wasn't like a big package or anything even that required extra processing.
So I also tried to find what is the justification for taking down all of these mail, like these machines.
I'm not sure about the sorters. I know, like, from a business perspective, he's trying to, in theory, stop overages. The post office has a deficit right now because of some rules that were put in place by Congress that requires them to pre-fund their pensions and healthcare plans by 75 years.
Yeah.
So if that wasn't the case, the post office would actually barely be in the red. And part of that is because Congress also controls prices. But out of the last 5 years, I think without this rule, the post office would have been solvent and making money 3 out of the 5 years or something like that. So I don't know.
Well, here's my other question, right?
Yeah.
So would you not equate the Postal Service to like war efforts? Because we don't look at war and being like, we're losing money.
Right.
On war.
Oh, yeah. No, I think the Postal Service, it's the most popular government agency. It has a 92% positivity rate. People get medicines that they need.
Sure, there's businesses built on it. I mean, it facilitates a ton of things, and nobody complains that we're losing money on roads, that we're losing money on police.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, the Postal Service is supposed to act as a private business. Because they charge money individually.
They shouldn't
I guess?
be. They shouldn't
That's
be.
why?
They shouldn't be. It's a service, and I don't know. I think it's ridiculous. And the guy that is now in charge, this Louis DeJoy fella, apparently has quite a bit of financial stake in like FedEx or UPS or something. So
probably because he
like
tried to mail a key one time and it didn't make it, and he's like, screw this.
Massive conflict of interest there.
So, anyways, we'll need Taulbee to pretty much figure out what is their justification behind taking down all these machines? Because I couldn't find it.
Well, I don't understand. Like, take a processing machine ups your efficiency, right?
You would think so. You think like you'd fire everybody and put in more sorting machines.
Yeah, because they have, they're unions, so that's a problem with firing people. But they've taken away all the overtime. Yeah. So even if they get the mail sorted, then they can't get it delivered.
They're like operating opposite of what Amazon is doing.
Pretty much, it's a mess.
which is crazy. So
yeah.
Anyways,
what's going on in sports?
Well, in sports, the Cincinnati Reds and Fox Sports announced that longtime broadcaster Thom Brennamen has been suspended from both the rest of the Major League Baseball season and the upcoming NFL season. He was slated to do some NFL games this fall. So this comes after Brennamen, and this is Marty's son, Thom, or Tom, or however you say it, was heard calling Kansas City one of the F-word slang for homosexuals, one of the F-word capitals in the world on a hot mic, not knowing he was heard by millions on live television right after a commercial break between the Reds doubleheader in Kansas City. Midway through the second game, Brennamen was removed from the game after awkwardly apologizing live on air and still calling a home run that occurred halfway through his apology. We'll include that apology in full.
Castellanos to lead things off. Jim Day's going to be taking us the rest of the way through this game as Holland takes over on the mound. I made a comment earlier tonight that I guess went out over the air that I am deeply ashamed of. If I have hurt anyone out there, I can't tell you how much I say from the bottom of my heart. I'm so very, very sorry. I pride myself and think of myself as a man of faith. As there's a drive in a deep left field by Castellanos, it will be a home run. And so that'll make it a 4-0 ball game. I don't know if I'm going to be putting on this headset again. I don't know if it's going to be for the Reds. I don't know if it's going to be for my bosses at Fox. I want to apologize for the people who signed my paycheck, for the Reds, for Fox Sports Ohio, for the people I work with, for anybody that I've offended here tonight. I can't begin to tell you how deeply sorry I am. That is not who I am and never has been. And I'd like to think maybe I could have some people that could back that up. I am very, very sorry, and I beg for your forgiveness. Jim Day will take you the rest of the way home.
You know, it was I assume you saw the video for it.
I haven't seen the video, but I did hear the audio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what would have been your strategy to recover from that? Because I have one. But what would yours have been?
I didn't actually think about the strategy from recovering from it because it's just not something that I would have ever done.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all...
Well, of course you would not have done that. I don't mean so when this happens to you in a few weeks, what's your...
Well,
how are you going to get out of it?
We actually had a big, conversation about it this weekend. And it's just, in any workplace, you couldn't get away with this. Because a lot of people are saying, well, he didn't know the mic was on and da-da-da. Right, but he was still in his workplace.
Right.
And this is just, there are some words I am not a clean speaker. I drop a lot of the other kind of F-bombs. I curse way more than I should. And now not around a client that I haven't heard use a curse word. I kind of let them control the tone. But I am not a clean speaker. And when I was in a different kind of environment where I was an employee and whatever, I did curse, and it's probably terrible. But curse words and words of hate are a little different.
Well, don't you think that even when we do this show, right, there should be a little more of a understanding that whatever you say could come back to bite you.
Oh,
so
for
you're
sure.
a little more careful about things.
Yeah.
For him to be, in a capacity where he's talking that casually and using that kind of language.
Yeah.
When this sort of thing, even if it wasn't live, even if they just had, hey, here's some stuff of him talking off camera or off mic.
For sure.
That's still going to come back to bite you. So how do you not know that going into it? That when you're in front of a microphone, you need to be on a little bit of a certain behavior level that will keep you from getting fired from probably, I'm guessing he's making extremely good money doing this.
For sure. And I'm not a big cancel culture kind of a person. I think some of it's BS, but this guy's got to go.
So you would...
Yeah. But I am interested. How would you try to recover?
So I would have started naming the different flags across the country and the world. And I would have been like, I would have been like, no, it's the flag capital of the world.
Gotcha.
There's the Minnesota flag there. There's so many amazing flags.
Well, apparently if this guy's going to use
and then I would have been
kind
like, oh, I'm sorry. Did you mishear me? Obviously, I'm talking about the wonderful city of Duluth, where it's the flag capital of the world.
Clearly,
and then people have been like, oh, what a cultured young man.
Clearly, if this guy is, smart enough to use this word in public like that, he's not smart enough to be, come up with such a...
Also, another Reds news, they finished up the series against Cardinals going 1-3 and are now 11-15 with just 34 games left in the season. They have upcoming series against the Brewers, Cubs, and Cardinals once again. Okay. So if we can fix our pitching, end of game pitching, basically, then we could be a threat, but we're sort of running out of time with this short season.
Well, I feel like I heard from one of my Facebook friends who knows about these things that we're only 2.5 games out of wild card position.
That is true. We could be a very scary wild card team if again, we're putting runs on the board.
Get that bullpen.
Our starting pitching is great. Our bullpen sucks.
Okay.
We'll see.
Well, last weekend, FC Cincinnati faced off against DC United back in Nippert Stadium for the first time without fans. The game was a draw, 0-0, which is a bummer. FC faces Chicago and Columbus twice over the next 2 weeks. The team also just signed central defensive midfielder Kamahelo Makocho.
Yeah,
I'll get that. Okay. Which should help bolster their defensive line, which we discussed previously on another pod. That is central to their strategy this year. The game was kind of a bummer. In the last 10 minutes, Lacadia had an open net, and the goalkeeper's best friend kept us from scoring. Hit the bar.
Oh, the goalkeeper's best friend, meaning the crossbar or the goalposts.
The post. Yeah.
What
it's
a
a bummer.
clever way. Darn it.
Yeah, but we didn't lose.
Sounds like as much soccer drama there as I have in my personal life.
It does. It does.
Well, you know how much I love to comment on FC soccer, but we will move away from that. In entertainment, we have 4 stories for you.
Yeah.
How could I ever acquire enough detail to make them think that it's reality?
Well, dreams, they feel real while we're in them, right? It's only when we wake up that we realize something was actually strange.
The Western and Southern /WEBN fireworks that mark the official end to summer in Cincinnati will still take place despite the cancellation of Riverfest. The 44th annual fireworks will take place on September 6th at 9:07 p.m. Precisely. But they'll go off at a secret location as opposed to the Ohio River. That means not a secret location on the Ohio River, a secret location not even on the river or a body of water.
Yeah, I'm guessing that if it was just a secret location on the river, people would just see all the barges and stuff, and then they'd start gathering.
Yeah.
But,
so probably, I don't know. I think why not just air the same fireworks as last year? Save the,
they were good.
Some money.
They were good, but it drives me nuts that this is the end of summer. There's still like 3 weeks of summer. Calm down. My favorite thing I saw on Facebook, the end of summer is like September 21st or 22nd.
I feel like summer ended approximately March 11th when they shut down everything.
Fair.
And it's all just been really weird.
One of my favorite things I saw on Facebook this week was keep your pumpkin spice lattes away from my margarita. Like, I'm still in summer, and I love me some fall.
I was thinking about, I was at Costco, saw Halloween costumes.
Yep.
And kids are like, hold on. Ryan, you're at Costco as well?
Costco membership.
Ooh, look at Ryan. You're such a grown-up.
Wow. Okay.
So go check it out.
So for those, I guess, he's off mic, but Ryan was telling us he got a Costco membership, which is exciting.
Yeah.
So, and he currently lives with a family of 5, and 3 of those are cats or something like that. So, whatever they buy is going to last a long time, which is exciting.
Yeah. Lots of litter and cat food.
So I don't like watching fireworks on TV. I think it's silly.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Just show them from last year. No one will know. Like, mirror it, right? Flip them the other way and just show the same stuff and put a different soundtrack to it. Who would know? It's secret, right?
There you
secret
go.
Location.
There you go.
There you go.
So movie theaters across Cincinnati started opening last weekend, including the AMC in both Newport and Westchester, the Springdale Cinema Deluxe, and Cinemarks in Oakley and on the west side. Most theaters are only at 30% capacity and automatically block 1 to 2 seats between you and other parties. If you decide to go, be safe and don't be dumb. I gotta say, with the way movie theaters are now with the like recliners and there's a lot of extra space anyway, I feel like I would maybe do this.
You would do this.
Yeah. I still don't like being inside with a lot of people, but I feel like that feels pretty distanced. But there would have to be a good enough movie that was getting released, and I feel like nothing's getting released because I only go to the movies when it's like a blockbuster movie.
Yeah, you see something with like heavy audio.
Yes. There's no point to go see a rom-com in the movie theater. Just watch it on your TV.
I did drive by the AMC theater last night.
Mm-hmm.
We went to dinner. And there was probably 15 cars at the theater.
Okay.
Not much. And Jackie's like, "Oh, are they open?" I said, "Yeah."
Apparently they are.
And I don't know. Let's see what's currently playing.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So if you were to go see something.
Oh, were you? Ryan was at the movies last night.
I saw the 10th anniversary of Inception.
The 10th anniversary of Inception. I have never seen Inception. Yeah. All right.
Well, let's see what's currently playing, because it's probably like, terrible stuff. It's going to take, let's see. All right, so there is Russell Crowe in Unhinged, where I guess he's like a crazy psycho guy that attacks some girl.
So just Russell Crowe on the screen?
Yeah, and I think that is all. Is that really it? That's all they have.
Oh, yeah?
Get tickets. All right. Let's see. There's Unhinged. There's Inception, 10th anniversary. I don't know what the point of that is. Oh, there's the movie called Words on Bathroom Walls. All right. Probably a lot of Alysa written on there with a phone number. No? Yes? No? The Burnt Orange Theory. Don't know what that is.
Nope.
Cutthroat City. Don't know. Beauty and the Beast. Why not? Let's bring that back from 2014.
Oh, that's a good one. But can't you watch that on Disney Plus?
Hey, how about Black Panther? Why not Back to the Future?
Oh, Back to the Future is a good one. I would do that.
Goonies. This is all silly. They're putting all this old stuff.
Yeah.
And they're probably charging a bunch of money.
Nothing's been released. They're not releasing.
There was nothing in the
right
works. Now. They're all just like, screw it. Let's go straight to like.
I mean, Tom Hanks sold his movie to Apple.
Yeah.
Because they're. I can't imagine there's a huge percentage nationwide of movie theaters that are open. Ryan can see if there are any in other cities that are opening.
That's true. Well, so if you don't want to go see a movie and you have a dog. Okay, this next one's for you. Appropriately named Bark, okay, with the capital B-A-R, Bark Park and Patio. The membership-based space, Cincinnati is opening a new dog-friendly drinking destination. Appropriately named Bark, Park, and Patio, the membership-based space will welcome well-behaved dogs and their owners to enjoy a generous portion of land and a spacious patio and bar featuring local brews and wine. The space will be divided into 3 parts: a massive fenced-in park for dogs to roam, which will be supervised by a park ranger. I don't know if it's a real ranger. Do you have to get, like, to be a ranger, don't you have to, like, have a training or something? You think it's like a real ranger? Not like Army Ranger, but like park ranger. Can anyone just be like $9 an hour?
Right. I don't know.
I wouldn't call him a ranger. I call him like a dog wrangler.
There you go.
Know? A backyard barbecue-inspired patio and an indoor bar in case it rains, right? In order for your pet to enter, you'll have to purchase a day, month, or year-long membership pass. I don't know how much that would be. I also don't know where this is located, but it sounds like...
They don't know yet.
They don't know yet. So they're just like, hey, we have this idea, and we're going to announce it. Because I've been talking about this for a while. Why can't... There should be totally a bar where you can just ignore your dog and go and drink. And actually, I think I want to do it with kids. Mm-hmm. Just let the kids run around and like with a park ranger.
Yes.
And then you can just drink. But then the problem is...
You got to get home.
You got to get home.
Yeah.
And COVID.
You got to have yeah.
That's also put a damper in things.
It has.
But it's a good time to open up a drinking dog park right now, I'd say.
Sure. Well, at least it's still just in the works.
Yeah.
They've got time. This one I'm pretty excited about. I haven't been to the zoo in a while. We didn't get membership this year. But if you thought you'd make it throughout this whole podcast without a story about the Cincinnati Zoo, you are sadly mistaken. Last weekend, the zoo officially opened Rue Valley, a spacious new habitat for little blue penguins and 2 species of kangaroos. The exhibit allows visitors to get up close and personal to the 7 kangaroos via a path that goes straight through the habitat. The new addition also includes a brand new beer garden. There you go. And obstacle course that is currently closed due to COVID. Over the weekend, the zoo also welcomed a newborn eastern black rhino. The rhino doesn't have a name yet, so you know what that means.
Naming contest.
Woo-hoo! But I love kangaroo. I have been to Australia a few times, and I've been to like some of the parks where you can go up and feed them and pet them. And
I love rhinoceroses.
Oh, do you?
Kids know it very well. That's my favorite animal, and if they go, they need to take a picture of it and bring it back to me.
Aww.
So the fact that a little baby rhino was born, I totally can get behind that.
There you go.
I think Fiona's old news, and they need to start focusing on this black rhino.
And producer Ryan agrees.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, but I did look into these animals. They're like, oh my gosh, Cincinnati Zoo is so great. Like this rhino, it's her second baby in the zoo.
Wow, she's all over it.
Had another one 3 years ago.
Yep.
You know how long a rhino is pregnant with a baby?
Oh God, how long?
Guess.
13 months.
16 months.
Oh, that's a long time.
Yeah.
I like being pregnant, but that's a long time.
And do you know why rhinos don't come out with horns?
I mean, that would hurt.
Because it would hurt.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really hurt.
Yeah.
So they said there's like less than 1,000 of these eastern black rhinos.
Uh-huh.
And
this one's had 2.
This one's had 2? It's a big percentage.
Yeah.
That's like, hold on, let me do the math. Okay, so 1,000, 10%, 10, 1%, 10, so 1, so
0.2?
So 0.2%.
Okay, you're usually the math guy. You were just playing, right?
Count fingers. Yeah, so like 0.2%.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You count her, she's like 0.3.5%.
Well, there you go.
So anyways, so happy to see the populations increase. Mm-hmm. But Cincinnati Zoo, I think, has put out like 20 baby rhinoceroses in the history of baby rhinoceros.
Oh, well, apparently we know what we're doing on the rhino front.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So I'm super excited about that. We don't know if it's a boy or a girl. I think they're hoping it's a girl. You know why? Because girls can have little baby rhinos.
That's true.
And boys can't.
That is true, but I'm guessing you still need a boy of some capacity.
It's a little anatomy class for you.
Yeah, I'm guessing you still need a boy.
Well, the problem is we have plenty of frozen rhino sperm.
Oh, gotcha.
We don't have
so
a
naive.
lot of frozen female birthing rhinos.
Fair.
So.
You know a shocking amount about this.
What's that?
You know a lot about this.
About rhino boning? That would be a good name for the rhino. Boner. Except it's not a bone. It's more like a fingernail.
It's hair.
It's like fingernail material, right?
No, I don't think it's cartilage. I think it's hair.
No, it's like keratin or something.
I think it's hair. Look it up, Ryan. He's gonna have a busy cleanup this week.
It ain't hair. It's like your fingernail. That's
Okay.
what it is.
Okay. Well,
The horn.
Yeah.
She thinks it's just a little bit of hairspray. Give it that nice tight point. Anyways, so what do you got going on this weekend?
Nothing this weekend. This week, I'm pretty excited. I talked about when a shutdown started, I had bought a pass at Plank, Cincy Plank Fitness Yoga Studio. I'm on it this morning.
Do you do a lot of just planking?
Oh, Plank Pilates and Yoga Studio. Sorry, guys. And so I had been wanting to start taking classes there and hadn't done it. And then when they were going to shut down, I was trying to support people and bought a pass. So it was kind of like getting a gift card everybody was doing. And then lo and behold, they've opened back up but they have very few classes and they haven't really one yoga class a week and I can't make it to that one. And then the mat plank what is wrong with me? The mat Pilates classes are at 6 o'clock in the
talking
evening.
About just in general?
And
what's wrong with you?
Okay.
Or just what's wrong with
just right this moment. But so those are at 6 o'clock. So I'm doing showings most days at 6 o'clock, so I can't do that. So she's letting me trade in my pass for the regular classes to do the reformer Pilates. Have you ever seen a reformer machine? They're so cool. So it's like this big...
It's a machine that you do the workout with.
And there's a chair kind of thing on it and it moves and there are these bands that you do. You put your feet in or your arms in. It's really cool. I'll show you. I'm obsessed. And I've really, really been wanting to try this. So I am going to have a private... You have to have a tutorial before you can go to the classes. So I'm having my first private exercise class tomorrow. Aren't I fancy?
It is fancy.
Yeah.
Jackie's been going to this thing at 5 a.m. or 5:30 a.m. At some place where they just turn up the temperature to 105 degrees and they do some intense workout.
Yeah.
And then everyone's dead.
Yeah.
By the end of it.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think they do any hot Pilates at this one because you have to have infrared machines and stuff. Yeah. But hot yoga is a big thing too.
Do you know anybody has those mirrors? Have you seen all the commercials for the mirror things?
Oh, those are so cool. I'm so obsessed.
Are they cool though?
I want one.
Can the mirror make you thinner looking in front of it?
Oh, I hate those though.
That one's a feature I would do.
I don't like skinny mirrors because I want to know I want to be informed about what I'm actually going to look like in the public. We don't
want to have to walk out and strut it and then wonder why everyone's looking at you funny. And they're not interested.
Exactly. But the mirror fitness thing is cool because it just doesn't take up any space. It's like having your Peloton classes, but it's not on a bike. So you do a mat, you can do a yoga class, you can do a HIIT class, boot camp stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like you have your own little personal trainer there.
Right.
I like it. And you can see what you're doing so you know if your form's good.
And they can track you and say you need to use more weight or less weight.
Yeah.
Because they're like, hey, our algorithm says this is too easy or too hard for you.
There you go. Yeah, I like that.
Smart.
I think that's cool. But then by the time we have our next podcast, the kids will have had 1 day of class. We don't start till the 4th.
Yeah.
And then Labor Day weekend, and Sandro will hopefully be back.
Yay!
I'm so excited.
Oh, we are excited. Okay. I didn't know.
Keppler. Yes.
I didn't know. Welcome back, Sandro.
Yes, I am crossing my fingers. I was telling producer Ryan this morning, I'm walking this fine line between finally feeling like there's a light at the end of this very long 8-week tunnel and not getting too attached to that day. Because if production runs behind on what he's doing, then he could be late. And if I'm September 5th, and so excited, and then he has to come back later.
Now, I have a question. So he comes home.
Yeah.
Is it all right, they're yours now, sucker, and then you take 2 days off to just do your
that
thing?
was offered up to me. I have some family going to Captiva to a private house on a private beach for a week, and they're Sandro could use some bonding time with the kids, right?
Yeah.
Want to come? And I was just that's not nice.
Yeah, or should it be honey, I'm so glad to see you. Let's do something coupley.
I think we're going to do something coupley because the week he gets back is also his birthday week. So I think I'm going to unload my children on someone else and go to the Lidl hotel, the Lytle Park Hotel. I want to check that out. And they've got like a roof deck and like a really swanky restaurant.
Yeah.
So I think that's what we're going to do. And then the next day, I think we may have a trio thing planned that day. So, yeah.
We do?
I don't know if that's being announced yet, so I'm not saying it out loud.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Do I?
Well, Ryan can cut it if we're not allowed to say it. But don't we have that launch party?
Oh, no, it's being moved.
Oh, okay. We
to
don't.
October.
Okay, whatever.
So it's like, wait, crap. Did I
forget to
do I
plan
need
something?
to plan something? Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll
Anyways.
talk about that later.
All right.
Okay.
Well,
But yeah,
if
good
you're
stuff.
and I'm not doing anything. So if you are looking for an activity option, okay, go right into that. And you love Metallica, all right?
Sure.
Well, there's Encore Drive-In Nights, and there's a new, I guess, film that's being released all over the country in a bunch of studios that is all about Metallica. The film was shot especially for this one-night-only event. It's showing at Cedar Creek Flea Market, which is up near Wilmington, the Starlight Drive-In, Holiday Auto Theater. It's $115 per vehicle, and you can fit up to 6 people. The ticket includes 4 digital downloads of the band's S&M 2, which I don't know, I guess that's a record. Oh, it's the long-awaited album documenting the 2 historic concerts that reunited the band and San Francisco Symphony for the first time in 20 years. So you can get tickets at Ticketmaster.com.
Okay.
But it's kind of a cool heavy metal experience.
Yeah, Garth Brooks did this too because all his stadium tours have been canceled. So
Yeah.
he did this
He
recently
released
as
something.
well. Yeah,
So,
that was pretty cool.
Sounds like a neat little fun thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And if you want to support a local business, the 2nd annual Beers and Ears. I feel like it needs some renaming. It'll make sense later. Hold on. So come join Westside Brewing on Saturday, August 29th from noon to 5 for their 2nd annual Beers and Ears event. They have teamed up with Burwinkle Farms for an afternoon of beer drinking and corn grilling. Come down and enjoy the sun with some delicious buttery grilled corn on the cob. Oh yeah, and there will be giveaways as well. Food, drink, free stuff. Yes, please. Burwinkle has fantastic corn.
That was nice delivery.
Thank you.
I think the yes please at the end was really nice.
Right? It was scripted. I can't, I'm not sure whether the credit goes to Burwinkle's Burwinkle and Westside Brewing's ad team or producer Ryan. Sometimes we just kind of copy and paste these from their Facebook events, but yeah, but definitely I can't take
Guess
credit.
what? I just got an email and I'm head coaching a team now for soccer.
Live update, folks.
Live update.
Assistant coach.
I already have an assistant coach now too, and I thought
Yeah.
I was taking off the fall, and now
No,
here
you're
we
not.
go.
There you
Let's
go.
add
but
it to
you
the
know
list.
what? You did the right thing.
I am a good person.
Yeah.
Every once in a while. Yeah. Well, and if you're looking for something to stream, dropping on streaming services this Friday is Bill and Ted Face the Music. The stakes are higher than ever for the time-traveling exploits of William Bill S. Preston Esquire and Theodore Ted Logan. Yet to fulfill their rock and roll destiny, the now middle-aged best friends set out on a new adventure when a visitor from the future warns them that their song can save the life as we know it. Let's see. Something. Their daughters, I think, are the main characters.
Yeah.
They just do some cameos. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I don't know that I have any interest in seeing this, but there is a cute little story about it. People in Hollywood, they make a movie together and then they go off and never talk to each other again. You've got someone as famous as Keanu Reeves and then this other guy, don't even know what his name is, don't think he's ever even been anything. You would think like...
He's been in a lot of stuff.
They're like bros. Like they're like best friends. Like I
Well,
just think that's a nice little story.
First of all, Keanu Reeves is like best friends with everybody because everybody loves him. He's the nicest guy in the world.
He is the nicest guy in the world. You know what? If Tom Hanks is out, he might be in.
Tom Hanks is out because remember he did the whole Wayfair child sex predator thing. Don't you remember he was part of that?
Part of the QAnon. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Now, looking back to that episode, do you realize how silly you sounded?
Oh, it was intentional. I wasn't being serious.
No, you were being serious. We talked about this. Yeah. So you were being serious.
okay.
And now I think
I
you're
am
trying
a
to play it off.
card-carrying
This is
member
your
of-
flag
Card-
capital of the world moment.
Card carrying.
And you're
member
trying to
of
get
QAnon
yourself
right here.
You're trying to get yourself out of
right
it.
here. Okay.
Yeah. I said Thom Hanks. Thon. Like Thom Brennamen. I said Thom Hanks was part of it.
I think we've gone off the rails,
Anyways,
Brett.
that's it for This Week in Cincinnati. Do us a favor and share this podcast on your social media, as well as rate and review us on iTunes. And if you have any ideas for guests and have contact information, shoot us a DM on Facebook or Instagram. Now stay tuned to the cleanup with our producer, Ryan Taulbee, as he talks all about his trip to Costco and misinformation we try to feed you as fact throughout this episode. For Brett and myself, have an amazing week this week in Cincinnati.
Thanks, Alyssa.
All right, welcome to the cleanup with producer Ryan. We've got a girthy one to get through today. So let's start with the county versus the city on the Banks venue. So the issue here is that the park, they're building the music venue, and then there's also supposed to be a park being built right next to it that will be like the outdoor part of the venue in case they have outdoor concerts. So the issue here is that they were, the city thought they owned it and the county thought they owned it, and they're all arguing over it, and I guess who gets the money from it. I don't know if they make money off of parks, but no one knows why or how they came to an agreement, but they decided that they are just going to both own it, I guess. And so now the park is also being worked on, and the music venue is supposed to be finished in December, and the park will be finished in May. So probably won't be going to concerts by then, but it will be done, so that's cool. As for the Postal Service, the Postmaster General has claimed that removing machines, cutting down on hours, and removing mailboxes was an effort to improve the post office's financial situation. However, it's pretty convenient that that is also right before an election that will see the biggest mail-in ballot numbers of all time. So 20 different states filed suits against the USPS to try and prevent this, and while they said that no more changes, they said nothing will happen until after the election, there are still some images and videos circulating of some shady stuff going on. So a lot of congressmen are trying to fight and get this all settled and figured out. The Postmaster General did actually testify sometime last week. So they're trying to get all that shit figured out. As they... That was a trike. You thought it was a motorcycle or a car, but it was actually a trike in Blue Ash. So they're all trying to figure it out. If you really want your vote to count, you should, absolute top number one, voting in person, you should be good to go. Putting your ballot, I guess you could take it to the Board of Elections yourself. I think that would be pretty, if you do like absentee or early voting. It just sounds like the mail-in ballot is going to be a little shaky, especially in a Republican Ohio. Findlay, Ohio is actually Flag City, USA. So take that little tidbit with you. The end of summer is Tuesday, September 22nd this year, so we still got pretty much a whole month of summer left, and I want to die because I hate summer. Movie theaters, I went to the movies last night, saw the 10th anniversary of Inception, still one of the best movies out there. But Alyssa is sadly mistaken that no big movies are coming out, because Christopher Nolan's next epic, Tenet, is coming out on September 3rd. But you already know your boy producer Ryan has early screening tickets for the 31st in IMAX. So he will be going a couple days before the rest of the mere mortals out there. Hopefully I don't get COVID. I feel fine now. Did not interact with any human beings while I was at the movies. I was a clear 4 seats away from the next person. No one in the row in front of me. No one around me at all. Did not touch anyone. Not that I'm ever touching anyone when I go to the movies, but I especially wasn't touching anyone now. And the whole experience, there was like 10 people there in the giant IMAX theater, so I basically was there all by myself, although my girlfriend was there with me too. And it was just great, because no one's there to bother you. I didn't have to shush anyone. And it was just a great time all around. So hopefully no one goes back to the movies so that I can go, and it's a great time. As for park ranger training, you need a degree. This is just to be a normal park ranger. If you want to be a park ranger for national parks, it's a whole lot more. But this is if you want to be an average Joe Blow. You need a degree in conservation, parks and recreation, forestry, fisheries, or environmental science. Then you have to go through the Ohio Peace Officer training and go through a whole bunch of different academies and bullshit for like shooting guns and lighting things on fire and all that. And finally, to round out this exciting, never-ending cleanup, a rhino horn is indeed made of keratin, a protein found in hair, fingernails, and animal hooves. So I think that one goes to Brett. And that's it. That's all we got. Hopefully you guys really savored that one, because it will not happen for another 2 weeks. So enjoy it while it lasts. And we will see you guys next week on This Week in Cincinnati.